right, now let's talk about some of your thoughts on our big story last night. It was tolling. This week, Governor Tina Kotek told the State Transportation Commission to ditch a plan that would have tolled several spots along I-5 and I-205 in the greater Portland metro region. But while those planned tolls are no more, you should still expect a toll along the new I-5 bridge between Portland and Vancouver. And when it comes to the planned toll on the Abernathy Bridge along I-205, that's a maybe at this point. We know tolling is not a popular idea, but our story last night had many of you thinking ahead about future impacts. Greg wrote to us to say, we all know that exclusive tolling to build the new I-5 bridge will just divert Washington traffic to a soon-to-be more congested I-205. Can Oregon's leaders exhibit big-picture thinking just once?
You look at the Midwest, and they have toll roads everywhere, and it works. It helps pay for the maintenance and upkeep and cleaning the roads. I know I'm probably in a very small minority. If you toll the I-5 bridge only and not 205, all the traffic will divert north and south to 205.
I think you're right. Our team has had this very same discussion over the last day and a half. If you only toll I-5, you can bet the Glenn Jackson Bridge, the I-205 crossing, that's a 15 or 20-minute detour east, well, that's going to see a lot more traffic, won't it? And the potential fallout doesn't stop with more congestion on I-205. The Interstate Bridge replacement team, well, they're counting on the normal amount of traffic in its tolling projections. So if a good chunk of drivers are diverting elsewhere, those projections, they could be way off. Would tolls on the bridge then have to be raised even higher to close those projections? And would that just push more traffic onto I-205? A lot of questions remain and the clock is ticking. The governor describes ODOT's budget situation as catastrophic and is pushing lawmakers to find a way to keep the agency afloat. Now, one of the things that they've been studying for years is a pay-per-mile tax. That's an optional program right now. It's called OR-E-GO, and it tracks drivers' miles and sends them a bill. But doing that on a statewide level, well, that comes with all kinds of thorns. Rural Oregonians will likely say, you know, they have to drive more miles than those in the metro, so that's not fair to them. And then there's privacy to think about. The state potentially tracking where you're going and how many miles you drive. Do you like that? I can smell a legal challenge there. But a viewer named Stefan wrote to us last night to say funding for highway maintenance has been insufficient for years. With cars already made with layers of computers able to transmit information, drivers should get used to the idea that their mileage will be monitored and fees attached. It's not if, but when. We'll be watching the legislature real closely next year. I mean, as we always do. But following our segment last night, we asked you if you had any suggestions for funding options. Jim offered up this idea. A system needs to be put in place so that EV owners pay their fair share. Currently, their extra heavy vehicles are skating free of paying for the road damage they're causing and making no contribution to ODOT road improvements. We hear that a lot, Jim, especially as more people turn to electric cars, but it's not 100% accurate. While they're not paying a gas tax like those of us who still fill up at the pump, EV drivers are paying higher titling and registration fees. Now, here's how that works. Prices are based on the car's age and gas mileage. The better gas mileage your car gets, the higher the fee to offset what you're not paying at the gas pump. The EV titling fee is nearly $200, but that's a one-time fee. Here's a look at the registration fees. You can see the electric vehicle owners do pay more than double the fee that even the most fuel-efficient gas vehicles pay. That's done to offset what they're not paying in gas taxes. They can knock that fee down quite a bit if they enroll in the OR-E-GO. That's the state's optional pay-per-mile program. But if they don't, this is what they pay. And oh yeah, no matter where you live, no matter where you drive, if you live in Multnomah, Washington, or Clackamas counties, you're going to pay those extra fees as well. So EV owners, not exactly getting a free pass. They just pay their version of the gas tax up front during titling and registration. Melissa wrote to us, I think Oregon should implement a sales tax instead of a toll across the river. I do not understand why Oregon does not take advantage of all the people who visit Oregon by having a sales tax. It could help schools as well. Yeah, sorry, but that's been voted down many times. And we'll end on this one from Joe, who wrote, kicker, why are we giving back billions to taxpayers and then talking about deficits in funding? Makes no sense.